Only sometimes it does not work properly. So in that cases, any contract entered or any agreement entered with them during that phase when their mind is not working properly will be void and it will not become a contract. Now the soundness of mind of the parties depends upon their ability to understand terms of the agreement, their ability to make sound judgment depending upon their interests so that they do not hurt their interests. Now, competence to contract through status, like who are not competent to contract through their status, like alien enemies, like if India declares a war with China, and if like Indian government department enters into a contract with the Chinese government department, so that will not be, this agreement will not become a contract. Like and foreign sovereigns, like say a foreign sovereign is like foreign head of states, or exactly most of the times this is referred to the people who are monarchs, like who are above the constitution, who are above the law, or who themselves are responsible for every law. Those are called sovereigns, but all heads of states are taken as sovereign these days. So in we can take an example like Saudi king or a crown prince. If you enter into a contract individually with him in India, any party or any person, so that will not become a contract. Insolvent party, if a person is already insolvent, you cannot enter into a contract with them, because if you create such an agreement, it will not become a contract. A company cannot enter into such an agreement which is ultra vires according to its memorandum. Like memorandum is a document that describes what the company is going to do. There are so many things. There is association clause also, like who all people are forming that company. But the first clause is objective clause. There are objects of the company that, or the purpose of the company, for what purpose the company is being formed. So if a company enters into an agreement that is beyond its scope or beyond the scope of its object clause, this is known as ultra vires. And ultra vires, if it is ultra vires, so this agreement will not become a contract. A statutory company cannot enter into contract which is outside its object per its act of legislature. So there, in case of a company that was held by private individuals, so the agreement should not be outside the scope of its memorandum. And in case of statutory company or a government company, it should not be outside the scope of the act of legislature that gave rise to the formation of that company. A municipal corporation cannot enter into a contract which is outside its statutory powers. Parties to the agreement must not be disqualified from contracting by any law which he is subject. So they should not be disqualified from contracting, like if some contracts are given to SC/ST community only, and if a person from general community applies, so he cannot create such a contract. So this is an example in this case. And legal formalities fulfillment as applicable according to other laws. Like if other laws bind something for performance of the contract, then they are entitled to be taken into account. Like for example, if a tourist enters into an agreement, he books a hotel room and he gets a bill on and he agrees, like if he has to mark a signature, or he makes an online booking and he gets service charges in the bill as well as an element of the cost to him. So this you can say that he has entered into an agreement, but you cannot charge him as regards the element of service charge, because service charge is voluntary. So the other laws are interfering here, other laws are allowing him exemption. So hotel owner or a manager cannot force the tourist to pay him service charge. Of course, he will be able to force him to pay all other charges, but not the service charge, as the tourist has already got an exemption according to law. Now, and the 10th element is consensus and item. So this stands for that the offer and the acceptance under contract must be consensus ad idem. This means that all parties to the contract must agree on the same thing and in the same sense. They should understand and agree in the same sense. There should be no discrepancy.